As the Scottish Premiership title race is heating up, Celtic take on St Mirren this Saturday at Celtic Park in the final league game before the split. In this video, I'll preview that game looking at recent form and the predicted 11s for both teams. Alongside that, I'll look at the massive news that the Green Brigade will be returning to Celtic Park this Saturday and the massive boost it will give the Celtic squad going into the final few games of this season. Starting with the major news that came out of Celtic Park on Tuesday night, that the Green Brigade will be back in attendance for Celtic's final 4 league games this season. The club posted this statement on Tuesday night just after 8 p.m, which reads, "The club is pleased to confirm that a route has been found to lift the suspension of the Green Brigade with effect from Saturday's game against St Mirren." On March 27th, at a meeting of the Glasgow City Council's Safety Advisory Group, the club again addressed the suspension on the Green Brigade. The SAG confirmed that it did not object to the suspension being lifted, subject to 3 conditions being satisfied. These were that all applicable policies will be adhered to, including season ticket terms and conditions, agreement that members will comply with the safety and security operations, recognition that a match-by-match report will be submitted to the Safety Advisory Group for as long as they deem it necessary. We communicated this to the Green Brigade and asked for their unconditional acceptance. They have today responded positively by accepting these conditions as outlined. Celtic interim chairman Brian Wilson said, "I am pleased we have reached this point where suspensions can be lifted with the agreement of Glasgow City Council Safety Advisory Group on terms which apply to supporters throughout the stadium. On that basis, a full and united Celtic Park can get behind the team at this crucial point in the season." This news is much needed for Celtic supporters. We've been waiting so long, over 5 months, for the Green Brigade to get back in, which was only meant to be a 3-match suspension. Turned out to be a lot longer than that, but finally we can put all that to one side and get on with supporting Celtic. The Green Brigade released their own statement yesterday, highlighting the 5 months period that they've been gone from Celtic matches, them 32 games that they have been suspended for. They're naturally pleased to be returning to Celtic Park, but they cannot forget the experience of the recent months and the personal impact it has had on members of the Green Brigade. They also took time to thank the Celtic support for everyone that supplied them with match tickets in the time of their suspension. They also say, in spite of the Celtic board, Celtic still has a fighting chance of salvaging this season. We're committed to and relishing the prospect of returning to Celtic Park to get behind the team. This responsibility extends beyond the Green Brigade though. Everyone has their own particular part to play. No part is too great or too small. No one is too old or too young to do something. Finally, they concluded their statement with some recommendations to Celtic. In the short term, full refunds for all matches missed by affected supporters, allocation of away points for fixture supporters would have otherwise attended, advanced visibility of stewarding and policing plans for the North Curve, a consistent and visible SLO presence within the North Curve, a policing approach that is proportionate with presence limited to circumstances where it is strictly necessary, a formal apology to supporters for the manner in which this situation has been handled. The medium-term recommendations, the establishment of a democratically elected fan advisory board and a transparent, meaningful supporter engagement framework, the introduction of a fair, transparent and proportionate disciplinary process for supporters, expansion of the SLO team, including a dedicated role focused on engagement with ultras groups, consideration of grouping the Green Brigade and Boys Celtic together for the 2026-2027 season, exploration of a goal and safe standing section from the 2027-2028 season. I think there's some interesting points made by the Green Brigade there, especially on the medium term. The exploration of a goal and safe standing section from the 2027-2028 season, I think that would be massive for Celtic. It was proposed a number of years ago that the Jockstein lower stand would be completely safe standing for ultras groups and Celtic fans alike that want to sing and stand for the entire game. Would that be something I can see happening at Celtic Park in the near future? To be honest, no. Would I like it? 100%. I think it'd be great for the atmosphere, the match going fan. There would be great value in that. But the problem would be, would people want to move from that seat, the seat that they've had since possibly the 90s in the Jockstein stand? I don't think so. It's not as easy as saying, well, you can get moved over here because someone else is going to be sitting in your seat in your area. So there will be complications, but I think for the greater good of Celtic Football Club, it would be a positive move forward. Turning my attention now to Celtic's massive league game this Saturday. Sunday, the final league game before the split. Celtic take on St Mirren. Celtic find themselves 3 points behind Hearts and 2 behind Rangers with only 6 games to go. There's been a massive amount of talk in the past couple of days about the post-split fixtures, with Hearts playing Celtic on the final day at Celtic Park, Rangers going to Falkirk on the final day. But at the end of the day, Celtic play 19 home games, 19 away games. Hearts play 19 home games and 19 away games, and Rangers will be playing 19 home games and 19 away games. That's the way it goes. I'll be looking at them fixtures in depth after this week's fixtures. With the way it's been going this season, 1 defeat and you could be out of the race, so there's not much point looking into them until Celtic hopefully get the job done against St Mirren this weekend. On Saturday, it's going to be a tough game. St Mirren are a good defensive team. They have some big men and they're going to make it difficult for Celtic to play against, like we've seen on countless occasions this season already. What starting 11 will Martin O'Neill go for in this game? Well, this is the 11 that I think he will go with. Vijami Sinazalo in goal. Celtic haven't kept a clean sheet in the league since the 1st of February in a 2-0 home win to Falkirk. That needs to be addressed. Celtic have struggled to score goals this season, so when they're conceding every game, it makes their life even more difficult. The back four now: Kieran Tierney, Liam Scales, Austin Trusty and Colby Donovan. Kieran Tierney has registered 5 goals and 11 assists on his return to the club this season, and I must say, in the second half of the season, we've seen the best out of him. He's starting to bring his best performances back to Celtic and the Kieran Tierney that we were used to at his first spell at the club. Liam Scales and Austin Trusty, we know what we're going to get from them. They need to be strong at the back and build it out. Start the Celtic attack with some quick passing. If Celtic can start attacking quickly like they did in the first half at Dens Park last Sunday, we'll start to see more goals coming from the wide men. When Celtic do quick build up, they profit from it. Right back, Colby Donovan, he did pick up a knock on Sunday's game against Dundee. We're yet to hear from Martin O'Neill if he'll be fit for this one, but if he is, I do expect him to play with Anthony Ralston coming on at some stage for him. Now looking at the 3 playmakers in the middle of the pitch: Benjamin Egrin, Callum McGregor and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Benjamin Egrin this season has got 19 goals and 8 assists. He's Celtic's top goal scorer. It's only a matter of time until he hits that 20 goals mark. In the past 3 games, he's registered 3 assists, 2 of them being with Sweden on international duty and 1 of them being on Sunday against Dundee. Benjamin Egrin, if it wasn't for him, where would Celtic be this season? He's been our main output for goals and he's been a much needed player, and I think at this stage he's Celtic's player of the season. The other 2 midfielders, Callum McGregor, he is the captain, he's the leader. He's going to have to lead Celtic on to victory. 4 home games left this season. He's going to have to get everything out of this team, out of these group of players to get the win, 1 game at a time. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I feel he's really getting up to speed now. That first 45 minutes against Dundee at Dens Park, he showed the player that he is. Quality, he showed strength on the ball. That's the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain that I expected to see at Celtic Park this season. The front 3 of Daizen Maeda, Kelechi Iheanacho and Yang. Daizen Maeda, like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, provided a fantastic first half performance. I think that was his best half in a Celtic shirt this season. Yes, he didn't score, yes, he didn't get an assist, but I think the intensity that he showed, the work rate that we've come to expect from Daizen Maeda was showed in that first half. Hopefully he can continue that on at Celtic Park on Saturday against St Mirren. Striker, Kelechi Iheanacho, he got the win for Celtic on Sunday. Is this now the time that Celtic finally can say that they have their striker for the remainder of the season? Hopefully. He's got 4 goals for Celtic, 2 of them coming from the penalty spot, 1 of them coming in the Europa League away at Red Star Belgrade, and the final of them 4 goals coming on Sunday. That massive goal in Dens Park that helped Celtic to stay in this title race. Yang at right wing, he's now registered 9 goals this season for Celtic, and he's starting to have a very good season. 3 goals in 3 games in all competitions, so he's definitely a man that's on form. I think Yang is starting to come into his own a bit. He has more confidence, especially when he gets a goal early in the game. You can see that he profits from that and he brings that onto his game. I'm going to turn my attention now to look at the visitors, St Mirren. They currently find themselves placed in 10th position, only 3 points above that relegation playoff position. I'm going to have a look at the team that their interim manager Craig McLeish will put out for this game. Craig McLeish is only recently appointed interim manager as Stephen Robertson went to to Aberdeen only a matter of weeks ago, the manager that brought them so much success with top 6 finishes and the League Cup against Celtic back in December. Now looking at some key men that may cause issues for Celtic on Saturday. Miguel Freckleton, the centre-back, has got 4 goals this season for St Mirren. Definitely a danger man that Celtic will have to watch out for from set pieces. Declan John, 1 goal and 5 assists for him. He links up very well with the 2 strikers, Mandron and Ayunga. The 2 of them have a combined 15 goals this season, 9 of them coming from Mandron and 6 of them coming from Ayunga. Also in the midfield, you may notice Mark O'Hara. The man has been at St Mirren for a number of years now, hasn't registered a goal this season despite getting 25 in his St Mirren career to this stage. He always popped up in the games against Celtic and Rangers, so for him not to have scored will be disappointing for him. But the goals have came in other places. Alongside him, Killian Phillips, the Irish international, has got 7 goals, so there is a possibility that Mark O'Hara's position is lost. He's playing in a wider role where Killian Phillips has taken up his traditional midfield role. The new interim manager who I touched on, Craig McLeish, has only been in charge for 3 games. That 1-0 home defeat to Rangers, 2-1 away win to Falkirk, a massive result for them, and most recently a 2-0 home win against former St Mirren manager Stephen Robinson. So a good run of form, some points on the board, which is much needed from St Mirren. Craig McLeish himself has played for a number of Scottish clubs, including Falkirk, Dumbarton, Montrose and East Kilbride. Celtic and St Mirren have faced off against each other 3 times this season, the first of them being Flag Day back at the first game of the season. Luke McCown's late goal sending Celtic home with a 1-0 victory on the 3rd of August, the second of them being at St Mirren Stadium in Paisley on the 22nd of November, a 1-0 win for Celtic. Another late goal, Callum McGregor on the 94th minute outside the box, sealing the 3 points for Celtic. The latter of them games 3-1 in the Scottish League Cup final. Not a great day under Wilfred Nancy, his 3rd game and his 3rd defeat for Celtic, where St Mirren won 3-1 that day. What's my score prediction for this game? Well, I think Celtic will win 2-0, a goal coming from Benjamin Negron and a goal coming from Kelechi Iheanacho. Hearts kick off at the same time on Saturday. Rangers don't play until Sunday against Falkirk away, so hopefully Celtic can have the pressure on them and move up a place or 2 by the time Rangers play on Sunday. That's going to be all for me in this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, drop a like and subscribe down below. Comment if you think Celtic can still win this league title and what's your score prediction for Saturday's game. I'll be back for a match reaction on Saturday evening, hopefully after Celtic take home the 3 points. Until then, hail hail and come on the hoops.